What's up, y'all? Hello. How are you? This is Neena Perez. This is Straight Talking No Sugar Added. I am chilling on Winject as usual. Love this platform. Love this place. Be a part of my free community at winject.com/groups/Neena Perez and Neena, of course, Perez, and be a part of my podcast community. And I'm really happy that you're here. A lot of you have been giving me such amazing feedback and really leaning into my guest on my podcast, leaning into what I'm teaching as far as my coaching is concerned. And I am super stoked for all of the feedback that I have been getting. It has absolutely been an amazing experience. So if you are you're joining me right now on the live, I want you to make sure that you put hello right there on the comments so that I know that you're here, because I won't know unless you comment. I hope I get all the comments. I'm not sure if I get them from all the platforms because we are streaming on LinkedIn and Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and all of that. So I don't know which comments I'll see, but if you can comment, I would love to speak with you. I wanted to come on here to talk about a lot of things that I have been encountering, not just in my life, but also as I've been working with a lot of people. And a lot of the things I've been working on is entrepreneurship, right? And well, shame. People don't think about shame in that way, and I think it's because they think, shame is something that you deal with in your personal life, or you deal with hidden, or you don't, let's not talk about that, right? Because shame is not fun. But I am really big on shame. I'm really big on teaching about shame, overcoming shame, helping people through shame, and enlightening people when it comes to shame and business, right? Because I think that is one of the things that have held me back in my life is shame. And so I wanted to talk to you about understanding shame in your entrepreneurial life, where you are going, right? Because shame is powerful. I mean, it's a powerful emotion. It can keep you stuck for a very long time. And it's that feeling that we get when we either believe we've done something wrong or something has been done wrong to us, and we take it on as it's our responsibility, right? And so we feel like we're not good enough, like we can't do it because we're so ashamed. We're ashamed. We have this hidden stuff, these layers of shame in our life that stop us from being the person that God has created us to be. And it's that feeling that can hold you back in so many areas of your life. And I'm not just talking about just your life only. I mean, in your business, in your entrepreneurship, in your education, it can stop you back and it can stop you and push you back in so many areas. I want you to understand that, yes, shame is a very deeply personal and complex emotion. I understand that. But understanding the roots of the shame and how it shows up in your life is going to be crucial for you to heal. It's going to be crucial for you to have that step forward in developing a healthier sense of self-worth and self-acceptance, which a lot of us struggle with. Now, we might act like we do in front of people, in front of TV, in front of our social media, in front of our social media and stuff like that. We'll act like we have a healthier self. We're fine. We're good, because nobody's going to talk about shame. Nuh-uh. That's not a very popular topic that most people want to talk about. I, on the other hand, have studied it for a very long time. It's been a part of my life for a very long time. And therefore I like talking about it, because it's time to expose this bad boy and to actually overcome it. And in entrepreneurship, shame can show up in your life in many ways. If you're a leader or an entrepreneur, shame shows up in many, many ways. One of the biggest ways I think that it shows up is when you start to feel like you're not good enough, like you're a fraud, like what you're creating isn't going to do any good, or you can't impact people's lives. And when you start to have that imposter syndrome, where you start to feel like a fraud, that is rooted in something. And most times it's shame. Right. And this feeling of being an imposter or being a fraud, and being scared of others finding out that maybe you're not as good as you say you are, or maybe you're not as good as you think you are. Right. And this can be avoiding you from taking on the things that you need to take on and the risks that you need to take on, because you're afraid of failing, and you're afraid of of people judging you, and you're afraid of what will come of it. What will people say? right? And so you sit there and waste too much time in this feeling that's making you maybe compare and have envy towards others. So you're sitting there in this comparison and this envy, which, believe me, comparison is the thief of joy, right? And a lot of times we compare ourselves because we feel ashamed if we're not good enough or if we didn't come up with something that somebody else came up with, right? So you start having trouble with promoting yourself or being on camera or marketing, even though your business kind of depends on it, right? And so this self promotion and marketing and all of that starts to become a little bit hazy. You don't really want to do it. You're reluctant. You don't really want to go there. You're even reluctant to hire people to help you. You're reluctant to hire a coach to lead you. You're reluctant to spend money on you, to actually self invest in yourself because you're ashamed. It's going to push you out of your comfort zone to do that. And so, therefore, we'll just stay where we are, right? But remember that every single person that I have spoken to, and I've spoken to over 350 or so people on my podcast, and speaking to them, they also have faced these same exact obstacles of comparing each other, of seeing if one is better than the other, of being afraid to self-promote, of being afraid of marketing, of being afraid to hire people, of being afraid of investing in themselves. And I don't know if you can relate to that, but I know that for me, that has been a huge hindrance in my life for a long time. I remember having days where I'm building my program and I think, I don't know if anybody's going to want this. I don't know if this is going to impact anybody. I don't know if I know enough about this. Let me just go ahead and I'll clean my desk. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll clean my desk, right? Hey, Melissa, how are you? It's What's that? It's the worst when you are on when you're your own critic. Oh my God, we're the worst. And what happens to when you're in this hidden shame and fear is that even when somebody's trying to encourage you, unless you are willing to open up your mind to it, you still stay stuck. Right? You have to be really willing to sit there and realize, okay, I'm dealing with this and I'm going to transcend this feeling. I need to get through this, right? So you'll start doing silly things that don't even matter. Like you'll clean your house, or you'll fix your desk, or you'll check your emails, or you'll scroll through social media, right? Or let me study more on that topic. I don't think I know enough. And even though I've been doing this for 20 years, right? Like coaching people, leading people spiritually and mentally and NLP and all of that stuff, even though I have done it for 20 years, I still sometimes go, well, I don't know if that's going to work. Or I don't know if they're going to get impacted by that. I don't know if this is good enough. We still go through that. I still go through that. Everybody goes through that, right? But I have to see the evidence. I have to see what I've seen as far as impact in my clients' lives or people that I've spoken to in their lives. And I see them that they're lifted and they're moving forward and they're going through and they're actually hitting the next levels that they want to hit in their life. But I still struggle with the shame of that, right? So I still have to be careful that I don't let old habits of shame and imposter syndrome and fear and all of that come in, because it will if I let it. And I know I'm not alone. I know I'm not, right? And so avoiding these feelings of shame and all that, just try not to even think about it. I don't want to think about it. It's okay. I know it's uncomfortable. Okay. But getting busy with all those little things, those little non-essential things that you have to do, or you think you have to do, and beating yourself up because you don't think you're good enough or whatever, that's not serving you. That's not going to get you to where you want to go. And saying to yourself, oh, that's okay, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes, guys. Tomorrow never comes. Okay? You are always waiting for tomorrow. And tomorrow you're not promised, and tomorrow never comes because you never do it. And you never do it until you're either sick and tired of being sick and tired, or you just can't take it no more and you hit rock bottom. But why do we have to wait to that point? What are we, masochists? We just want the torture? Why do we wait to the point where we don't have a turnaround for us to actually change? Okay, I was reading a case study on Steve Jobs, right? The Apple genius, Steve Jobs. And I mean, do you remember Apple Lisa? I bet you don't. Apple Maps, that was a flop. Next Ink was another product that he came out with, right? And I remember when he launched Mobile Me, right? Mobile Me was this cloud-based thing with that, it was going to sync up all your emails and contacts and all your calendars and everything. Yeah, right? And you probably don't remember, but it was awful. it was it sucked. Okay. And when Steve Jobs launched it, it was so bad. People were like dissing it, right? It had poor user experience. Everybody was dissatisfied. Nobody wanted this thing. This Mobile Me was awful. But you know what it did is that Steve looked at it, reassessed what everybody was saying, what was messed up, what he couldn't, get right, and he fixed it, right? And it led to what we all use today, which is called iCloud. If you are an Apple user, you use iCloud. But before that, it was awful, right? And his career, of course, was undoubtedly successful. But why do you think it was successful? It was successful because he encountered so many big mistakes, so many big failures, but he kept going. He kept going and he kept going, and he developed Apple what it is today, right? And Jobs, learned from all of these strategies, and he messed up many, many times. In fact, he was kicked out of Apple the very first round and then asked to come back, right? So there you go. I mean, even then he must have felt like a failure, because that was huge for him, right? The lesson that I want you to take from all of that is that there is a big piece of importance in your life when you embrace all of your failures, when you look at everything that you're afraid of, when you look at everything that you might have been feeling ashamed of. Use it as an opportunity in your life to grow. Use it as an opportunity to learn, to increase your chances of success. Because if you grow and you learn from all of these failures, believe me, I am doing that every day. You're going to increase the long-term success. All this short-term shenanigans of like getting rich in like 90 days, it happens. It's very rare, right? But if you mess up a lot, you're going to learn a lot, right? I promise you're going to mess up a lot. That's a promise. You can take it to the bank. But it's also going to show you a lot in life. So fail forward. Keep failing forward. Just keep failing and learning, failing and learning. That's how you learn. And that's how you really solidify your long-term success in life. Really. Think about like all the failed relationships you might have had, right? You learned from each one of those. I ain't going to do that again. I ain't going to let somebody treat me like that again. I'm not going to let somebody do this to me again. You learned, and you keep learning, and you keep learning until you get the relationship that is now healthy and well, and you've learned the mistakes and you've gotten them all out, and you've learned how to deal with the human being, right? So think about all of those moments. Think about those moments where you've hesitated before you've made a business decision, or before you doubted your capabilities, or before you dealt with somebody that asked you to make something, or a client or whatever, right? Think about all of those moments, because you have to realize that a lot of that hesitation, a lot of that, decision making that you messed up on, all of that stuff, when you start to realize, why am I hesitating? Why am I cleaning my freaking desk instead of working with a client right now? A lot of that is rooted in shame. A lot of it. All right. Self-doubt, imposter syndrome, all of that stuff is rooted in this deep shame of maybe being judged, or something that happened to us that hurt us in a way that we don't want to be seen. Right. And recognizing that shame will really cast a huge shadow over everything you want to do in your life, especially your mindset. Your mindset, your behavior, the way you attract a client, the way you attract a business opportunity, the way you attract a partner, whatever. Shame has a lot to do with it, and it will affect the way you think. It will affect all of the things in your life. And the first step towards stepping out of that light is to recognize that this is happening and stop trying to run away from it. I know I speak about a very unpopular topic. Shame is not a very popular topic. People are not running to recognize their shame. But if you don't recognize these hidden patterns, then you will not grow, not to the extent where you want to grow. You have to be self-aware. Patterns that are toxic like this will hinder your growth. It'll hinder you from learning. It'll hinder you from expanding what it is you're trying to create. And it will really choke your belief system. I want you to change that. I don't want you to keep living in a place where you are hindering your own growth, because nobody can hinder that for you guys. You hinder that yourself. Somebody might have done something to you that hurt you. Somebody must have impacted you, I'm sure. And I'm sure that we carry a lot of shame that doesn't belong to us, and some that does belong to us that we have to rectify, right? But reframe this mindset, because this is a scarcity mindset. This is a mindset of scarcity, of not having enough. All right. You have to reframe that scarcity mindset so that you can start really opening up your mind to this abundance perspective in your life, this abundant perspective, so that you can open up the opportunities in your life and stop living in a place of scarcity. And scarcity, it's really, it goes back to the way we feel. And a lot of times, what's that rooted in? It's this deep-seated belief that we are fundamentally flawed and unworthy, and that we have this shame and we are not good enough. That is where scarcity mindsets come from. When you feel like you just can't do it, you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not, strong enough, you're not whatever the enough is for you. And this scarcity mindset will start to eat at you like a cancer. And it starts to affect not only your life, but your business, your entrepreneurship, the things you want to grow. And shame now starts to impact your thoughts, your behavior, your decision-making process. You don't even make the right decisions, or you're making decisions based on shame. And so you're doing things you don't want to do. And it ultimately will stop you from growing. I promise you it will. And I want you to understand the connection between the way you are thinking, that scarcity mindset, and those decision-making things that are hindering you and your growth. You have got to get this together, okay? You have to begin to break free from these self-limiting beliefs and embrace the fact that you can be abundant in the way that you think, in the way that you are, in your finances, your business, all of it. If you can get away from that scarcity mindset that is starting to destroy you. When we operate from a place of shame, we tend to believe that we are not enough, that we can't build enough, that there's, that the people out, oh, it's a recession, people don't have enough money. BS. People spend money on what they really want to. Okay? But when you don't feel like you're enough, you think everybody else is looking at you that way, and that's not true. We tend to believe that our success is not enough. Our knowledge is not enough. Our skill sets are not enough, right? We tend to put our stuff on other people, like, oh, well, those people, our clients, they don't really have that money. So who said? I bet you if they wanted to buy a car or buy a house or go on vacation, they'd find it. Okay? So there is enough. There is enough. And I need you to get out of that mind. Like, is that too much? Am I charging too much? This scarcity-based thinking is going to manifest in your life in different ways. It's going to manifest with lack of clients. It's going to manifest with lack of money, lack of support. It's going to cause you to be confused. God is not the author of confusion. So invite God into your decisions, right? It's going to cause burnout. You're going to be exhausted. You're going to be drained. You're not going to be a way to manipulate the situation from a negative to a positive. So I want you to start identifying what is going on in your life that may be causing shame, that's causing all of the scarcity, which means little bits of things in your life. This mindset that is starting to destroy not just your life, but also what you want to create, your business and everything, right? Reflect on your thoughts. What are you thinking about? Think about what you're thinking about. You've heard me say that before. All right. Reflect on your thoughts, on your emotions, on your behaviors. Why am I doing that? Why am I sitting here cleaning my desk when somebody just asked me if I can place this order, but now I'm afraid to place the order, right? What are those moments where you find yourself playing small? You find yourself avoiding being seen, right? When you don't fully acknowledge who you are and the achievements of who you are. When do you find yourself playing small? I guarantee that there is something underlined, and I almost can put my finger on the fact that it is shame, right? Because we always play ourselves too small. We don't think of ourselves as we should. Stop playing small. Stop avoiding being seen, okay? Start acknowledging your achievements. You are worth acknowledging. And for years, I noticed how I did this in my life. I used to downplay my success all the time. I used to feel like I was not worthy of recognition. No, that not me, them. Oh no, it's okay. It's just that I used to do this all the time, right? I was afraid of being seen, and I was afraid of being seen like a fraud. Maybe I'm not as good as people think I am. Uh-oh. Now, shame-based scarcity mindset is what I'm talking to you about, right? The patterns that lead for you to self-sabotage every time you're about to do something amazing and you mess it up because you have this brain already set to a point of scarcity where you don't really believe that you should be receiving more in your life. Therefore, you do things to sabotage it. You miss opportunities that are amazing opportunities in your life, and you missed it, right? You have this fear of taking risks. You have a fear of investing in yourself. Man, if I spend that money on me, shoot, what's going to happen? I mean, that's a lot of money. So we start to make excuses as to why we shouldn't invest in ourselves. Yet we'll go shopping, right? Because shopping is safe. Shopping you can control. You make decisions on what you want to spend when you're shopping. So you have a fear of investing in you because that means that you have to step up to the plate. Okay. And by operating from this place of shame, you're going to hold yourself back from reaching your full potential. You are. I did. That's why I know this. For a long time, every time it was about investing in myself, investing in my program, investing in a coach, I would make a shitload of excuses why not to do it. Oh, I can't. I got to pay my bills. Oh, I can't, blah, blah, blah. I got to do this. But yet my Amazon boxes didn't stop coming. Okay. So if I would have stopped shopping at Amazon, then maybe, maybe I would have had my coach done a lot sooner. But once I broke that, once I started investing in me, investing in my education fully, not just money, mind-wise, spirit, everything. I just invested everything I could, right? It was God and me and whatever I was investing in. And by operating in that place, I started to then reach my full potential. I had potential. I always had potential. I just didn't realize that. There's hope, right? You don't have to stay stuck where you are. We can challenge this, okay? I want you to start challenging the shame-based scarcity belief system that you have. I want you to embrace self-compassion, all right? I want you to know the worthiness of God in you because God doesn't make junk, all right? And start cultivating this self-acceptance in your life. Start recognizing your worth. And the fact that you have capabilities, that you have mind, that you have skill sets that others don't have like you have, that you have them differently because you are you. There is no other you. So recognize that you are worthy of success. And just like anyone else, all the opportunities can also come your way. If you are seeing that opportunities are fleeing, it's because you're not taking them because you are afraid. Stop being afraid. I want you to practice acknowledging who you are, the achievements that you have, giving yourself credit where credit is due. Okay? I do this with people that I love and my clients all the time. I always say, oh my gosh, but you do this and you do that. And I point out what they have done already because it shows them that they can break that what they're saying to themselves is not a true story. It's false. It's a lie. Okay? And every time that we work together, we break it off a little bit at a time. It's not going to happen overnight, but you can do this. You absolutely 1,000% can do it. I'm 50 years old. I'm telling you, you can do it no matter what age you are. Okay. It took me some time to get there, but you can get there. Break it. All right. Break it down little by little. Put down all of your stuff that you know how to do. I don't care if it's from home, from work, your business, your education, whatever it is, break it down. And you're going to see the amount of knowledge that you carry within you that you don't give yourself credit for. Be vulnerable. It's not a weakness. Okay? Being vulnerable is not a weakness, it is actually a strength. Embrace vulnerability. Okay? Embrace that you're not a he, she man, or he man, or whatever, right? Embrace it. Vulnerability is going to help you to grow. When you start to become vulnerable with yourself and realize, okay, I don't, okay, I did have shame in my life. I do have all this. Okay, I'm going to accept that. That is what it is. I've gone through it. Okay, be there. Don't just ignore it. Surround yourself with people that are with you in this. That's why I love my group coach, my group coaching program, because all of these women are going on the same path in different ways, but they're going through the same path of wanting to really grow, right? To be surrendered, to know who they are, to have their value come forth, to know who they are authentically, right? And so you have to do that as well. Be a person who networks with people that create value in your life, people that uplift you, not tear you down. Okay? Remember, it's not going to end where right here, right? Where you start, right? Life keeps going if you're still alive. So embrace this abundant mindset going forward. Keep it going. Practice. Okay? Stop playing small. You deserve more than that. Okay? You deserve more. Why do I say that? Because you're alive, because you're here, because if you're, especially, this is because I'm a Christian. You're a child of God. God don't make junk, okay? And I'm sure that He has placed things inside of you that are waiting to burst out, and you keep being afraid of moving forward. I want you to stop. You got this, okay? No more scarcity mindset. We are going to work on an abundant mindset so that you can transform your life and therefore transform the lives of others around you. Okay? I want you to look at life and say, okay, this is what I'm going through, but I can overcome this. I know I got this. I got this. Okay? All right, guys. I just wanted to leave you with a little bit of inspiration today and to make you realize that even though you want to start something in your life and you feel like you're stuck and you feel like you can't do it and you feel like you can't get there, failure is definitely a part of it. And you can understand shame so that you can break it and move forward in your life for the things that you want to create. All right. This is Neena Perez, NeenaPerez.com. Reach out to me, okay? Or straight talk, no sugar added. Thank you guys. Love you. Bye.